Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to my breakdown of the Star Trek Picard trailer that dropped today, October 5th, 2019, at New York Comic Con. Now, I can't play the audio or the whole video of this trailer because of, CBS, so please watch the trailer first to get a really good idea of what's going on. If you want to take my word for it, that's up to you. So the very first scene of the trailer we see Picard, I don't know if he's captain or admiral, ambassador, we'll just call him Old Man Picard, wearing a symbol that is certainly not a Starfleet symbol. And then he walks away, and we see, in fact, that it is starting January 23rd on CBS All Access. So, not that far away. So, any questions we have probably won't be too long before we can get them answered. So, let's keep going. So, it's the vineyard. Beautiful, beautiful vineyard. We see right there, that is Commander Data. And I say Commander Data because he's dressed like he was on the Enterprise all those years ago during Star Trek The Next Generation, painting. And painting is something we saw him do on the Enterprise quite a bit. Unfortunately, from this point on, I have to obscure the video somewhat to keep those copyright bots away. But I will tell you what's going on from here on out. So Picard is getting closer. Data's painting. We see Picard's, and we see, okay, pausing it here just so you guys can see that is indeed an original TNG uniform. There's nothing 25% different about it. It is the uniform Data was wearing back in the TNG days. Okay. Obscuring again. So, here's a problem. Here's a problem. That face. Listen, people age. I know people age. But you can do amazing things with special effects. Okay, you could take HD video of The Next Generation, the remastered video. Surely there was some scene of Data they could have used and just changed his lips and use that for this short clip. I mean, I don't think this is a short dream sequence. I don't think Data is going to be in the series all that much. But this is not Commander Data. This is not what Data looked like. I know people age. Androids are not supposed to age. There's really no excuse for why Data looks like this. That is not the face I remember of Commander Data. And I'm sure it's not what you remember either. But we'll let that go. So Data is asking Picard if he would like to finish the painting. Because of course, that's something you always ask somebody when they walk by. Hey, you wanna finish my painting? You wanna finish my book? You wanna anyway. Now, the painting, this is going to get old. The painting is of what looks to be a woman, but there's no face. And Picard says he can't finish the painting. He doesn't know how. And Data tells him, yes, you do. Yes, you do, because you know who that woman is. We know who that woman is. We already know. Keep going. He says that's not true. He hands him the paintbrush. Okay, so here's the thing. We now get a lot of these scenes of some type of space battle going on. I can't tell what ships these are. They possibly Romulan. They look like I don't know, some type of flying fish to me. But they're attacking something, the details of which I have no idea. And they're interspersed between this and Data giving the paintbrush to Old Man Picard. Let's see if we can get a good one. We go frame by frame. Here we go. Here's a good one. It's not a ship I've ever seen before. Possibly Romulan. Probably alien. Looks like a flying stingray to me, personally. I have no idea what class ship this might be. I assume it's the bad guys. Bold assumption to make, I know. Let's keep. So now we see Old Man Picard was indeed sleeping and dreaming. Now we heard a dog bark, and Picard is saying, "Aw, good doggy. It's all right, number one. His dog is named number one." Poor Will Riker, replaced by a dog. And then CBS All Access Original Series, unless, of course, you're anywhere else but the United States, in which case it's an Amazon Original Series. Funny how that works. So we're at the vineyard, and Old Man Picard is saying he came here to find safety. But one is never safe from the past. And now we hear a woman saying, "Please, sir, someone's after me." And it's that girl that we've seen in the previous trailer. We don't know who she is. We don't know what she wants. We know someone is after her. But that's about all we know. So Picard was looking at her. Next we see San Francisco. Something's happened to the Golden Gate Bridge. I don't know what it is. It could be solar panels. I'm not sure. So I started thinking, when was the last time we saw, San Francisco? I remember Deep Space Nine, the end of the Dominion War. The Breen attacked Earth, and San Francisco was decimated. The bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge, was in pieces. Captain Sisko said he lost a lot of good friends in those buildings. So that was the last true in-canon picture of San Francisco, I believe. Now, I know, Voyager people will say, but we saw San Francisco in Endgame. And yes, that's true, but we saw San Francisco at the beginning of Endgame, which was 23 years after Voyager got lost in the Delta Quadrant, which was actually only a few years before, or even could be around the time Star Trek Picard actually takes place. And the bridge did not look like this. The city did not look like this. However, that was an alternate timeline because Captain Janeway came back in time. That timeline never existed. So it's quite possible, though not probable, that Janeway coming back was the cause of all of San Francisco looking different. In fact, these buildings look far more like they did in the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies than they did in anything I remember in TNG or DS9. But that's not important. Okay, so this is actually a beautiful shot of the Enterprise D hologram that appears to just be, I don't know, in the building. This is Starfleet headquarters. Picard comes in. He says he has an appointment. They ask for his name. He says Picard. He starts spelling it out. This is a bit of the scene that we saw way early, the teaser scene, where the guy seemed not to know who Picard was by his face, and he seemed a little ticked off, like, how do you not know who I am? One of the greatest captains of all time. You don't know who I am? Get off my lawn. Okay. He's spelling out his name. Okay, so the kid just told him, it's nice to see you up and around again. And that is Picard's look. Picard is not so happy as he puts on his visitor badge, which just so happens to go where the old comm badge used to go. So I don't know where or what this building is, but we're getting audio that's not related to the scene. Captain Picard is talking, old man Picard, is talking about having an obligation, and an admiral, a woman admiral who's with him, is telling him, you know, you don't belong here anymore. This isn't your show. Well, not literally, it is his show, but she doesn't know that. She says, there is no we, Jean-Luc. But this is the most exciting, most surprising scene of this entire trailer for me. This guy, they open a door and it looks like there's dozens of these guys. And to me, look at those eyes. Those yellow eyes, they look like androids. Not the phones. The datas. And this guy has F8 stamped on his forehead. So I'm assuming A1 through, I don't know, A9, A9000, all the way up through the Fs. They're all here. I'm not afraid, but I'm thinking, could this be the slave army that Captain Picard warned Starfleet about in Measure of a Man? When he said, what would happen if Starfleet was able to replicate Commander Data? Would they build slaves, and would those slaves not devalue human life? So that's interesting. It's an interesting scene. Unfortunately, none of the audio we get in this trailer seems to have anything to do with this particular scene. So Picard is telling the Admiral he's standing up for the Federation, for what the Federation still represents. He's getting quite upset about it. And this woman, Admiral, gets up and says, this is no longer your house, Jean-Luc. Basically tells him to go home. And in fact, she tells him to go home. And there he does. He looks very sad. Next, we cut to the woman, the mysterious woman. We don't know much about her. Some people say she's Picard's daughter. I disagree. Could be genetically related to Picard, but I don't think it's his daughter. So she's walking, she's singing in the rain, except without singing. Picard is heard saying he has to help her. And so there's a guy talking to Picard, asking if he really wants to go out back into the cold. And Picard says, more than ever. More than ever. Look at that face. More than ever he wants to go back into space, back into the cold of space. Maybe he's remembering what Captain Kirk told him in Star Trek Generations. Don't let them take you off the bridge. Well, he let them. He let them take him off the bridge. January 23rd. So he's got a plan. The woman says another top secret unauthorized rescue mission. Has he been doing a lot of these? No idea where this is. This woman is saying this is everything that ever mattered to her, and she's going with him. He's telling somebody he needs skill and courage. I could understand that old man Picard might need some skills from some young whippersnappers, but I don't think he needs any additional courage. That's just my personal opinion. We get a really quick shot of what looks like the Borg cube from the last trailer, but that's honestly it. So we got a little bit there of 7 of 9. I'm going to back it up. It appears to be 7 of 9. Crying, embracing, holding somebody. Not sure who. So as this is going on, Picard is saying the past is written, but we are left to write the future. There it goes. He's talking to someone. We're going to write the future. And this guy says, hold on. Let's see, what type of ship is this? Because I think this is his ship. So that, I believe this is the ship that Captain Picard or Old Man Picard will be on. No, it could just be, editing to throw us off. Why did I waste so much time on the ship? Well, we'll see in a second. A legend. Now, here's the issue. What is that? That is a Romulan bird of prey. As far as I know, last seen in the TOS episode, Balance of Terror. And if you watch the remastered TOS, then in the third season episode, The Enterprise Incident. I don't think this has been on screen in decades, and it belongs to a long-forgotten era of Star Trek. Decades, centuries passed from Picard's perspective. Why has it shown up? And it was a pretty, relatively weak ship even in TOS times. Why is it showing up in Star Trek Picard? I have no idea. But to be honest, I like it. I like that ship. I always like that design. It's a nice, simple design. Now, hopefully, it actually has warp engines. Because in Balance of Terror, Scotty said that it was not a warp-capable ship. Even though clearly the designer designed it to have warp nacelles. But whatever. Keep going. So, there we go. We hear that she was sent for a reason. The guy says we'll get the information we need. They're gonna do some kissy. And we've got, I don't even know. This guy looks like Kung Fu, Vulcan, Romulan, I don't know. Samurai, sword wielding Romulan, I guess. We'll see. It's not that long. Not that long till January. Oh, now we've got 7 of 9. I'm sorry. The A-Team, the single woman A-Team of the future, 7 of 9, who says that she helps people who have no one to help them. Here she is telling Picard what she does. I help people who have no one else to help them. And here she is, sporting 2 separate rifles in two separate hands, firing in two separate directions, seemingly at the same time. Something I would see in a Terminator movie, perhaps. Not really expecting to see in any. And just for good measure, the colors of the bolts are different. We've got red and blue. Not really expecting to see that in any Star Trek series, especially not Picard. So many questions, but maybe there'll be answers come January. Oh, now this is an interesting one. We hear a kid yelling, "Dad!" And we hear a familiar voice. A familiar voice that says, "Stop yelling." And you realize who it is. The kid yells at Jean-Luc Picard. And the music changes. And you know something big's about to happen. And there's Picard, and he says, "Hello, Will." "Hello, Will." It's Commander Riker, or Captain Riker, or perhaps, and this is just a theory, Santa Claus. No, it's probably just Riker. He's probably also retired. But he could also be Santa Claus. It's possible. And there, for a couple of frames, is Counselor Troy, who says, "Jean-Luc," and she goes to hug him. Gets in a good squeeze. She wearing a glove? One glove. Must be the style. Must be the style in the future. Another scene of the Romulan bird of prey. You know, somebody in my chat brought up that the Romulan bird of prey might be the ship Picard is on. Now, that would be really interesting. I'm actually not against that at all. However, the editing made it look like this was Picard's ship. I personally think I would prefer to be he was on the Romulan bird of prey. I'm just wondering as to the story as to how and why a Romulan bird of prey is still in action so far in the future. What was that? Was that what I think it was? Was that what I think it was? I don't know what that is. But that... Is that... Yes. It would appear it's a bowling ball. Bowling has survived. Baseball is dead, but bowling survived to the 24th, almost 25th century. I don't know what this is. Some type of card game. Now, we've got some pictures of 7 of 9, but here is another space battle. We'll go frame by frame. I do these frame by frame because there has yet to be a recognizable Starfleet ship. 7 of 9 is looking totally badass here. Definitely action hero 7 of 9. Didn't appear to be action hero 7 of 9 in the last trailer, but I could live with this. I could live with action hero 7 of 9. What was happening there? Is she burning? I don't know. She's in pain. I feel bad. And we got the bird of prey again, shooting the Romulan bird of prey, not the much superior Klingon bird of prey. And so here we have a weird scene where Picard thanks Riker for not trying to talk him out of it. Now notice there is no hand on Picard's shoulder right now. Riker says, you know, he knows better, but now the hand is right on Picard's shoulder. It's a little awkward, but it gets worse. Yeah, I could have done without Captain Picard going for Riker's hand, patting it on his own shoulder. It's just a little weird. Just a little weird for me. And that's it. Picard, January 23rd, only on CBS All Access. So, this trailer, to me, absolutely nothing like the last trailer. The last trailer focused heavily on the Borg, on Romulans. This trailer, you see almost none of the Borg, almost none of Romulans, except possibly a Romulan bird of prey. We don't know if Romulans are on board. Instead, we see a lot of emphasis on what I think are a race of androids, possibly android slaves. We see 7 of 9, not as a, regular speaking human being that we saw her in the last trailer, just like, hey, Jean-Luc, what are you doing? And drinking with Jean-Luc. Here she's kicking ass, shooting 2 rifles at the same time, like an action star hero. Certainly she'd be at home in Terminator. I don't see how she fits into Star Trek Picard, but we'll see. I know there's been rumors of lots and lots of rewrites. Certainly, extensive rewrites could explain why we have 2 trailers with 2 completely different feelings. But it could be that it's just that in-depth of a series. It could be that that there's not one big issue, but multiple issues facing Picard. I don't know. Will I watch? Of course I will watch. I'm a Star Trek fan. I will watch it. If they put the Star Trek logo on it, I'm forced to watch. Will I enjoy it? That is yet to be determined. I hope I do, and if I do, I will tell you guys, and I will shout their praises from here to the moon. But if they've messed this up, if this goes down the route that Star Trek Discovery went down, then I will also shout that from here to the moon. But we'll see. We're just a few short months away from the premiere, and I am looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Leave in the comments, what you think. Are you going to watch? Did you like this trailer? What do you think of it? Was it better than the last trailer? Let me know. Qapla! Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdO'Prey5.com, the new home of everything Bird O' Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdO'Prey5 or on BirdO'Prey5.com. Take care.